I'm not responsible for your bad habits. I grew up with a shouting father.
Coming from a polygamous family and you're like the second born of the third wife of the king, you don't count.
Yinka was wearing a lot of internalized homophobia.
I like this person likes me. So what is the problem?
Yeah. Now remember Yinka, I met this person, she's a loving person, she's a sweet person, she's a kind person. Until she gets this block and she's triggered and
properly triggered issues.
And she's shouting
because I was scared of Nigeria, really.
She was coming from a lot of trauma and pain and mistrust.
Me personally, I did not realize there's a difference between dating and partnering.
This is your friend Amara. This is your friend Amara. This is your friend Amara the lesbian. Amara the lesbian. The lesbian. The lesbian. Amara the lesbian. Hey lovers and friends. Good morning. See, look at my leg. I cannot walk properly and my head is aching and the AC is not blowing. So I'm hot. Babe, touch the AC now. I honestly don't understand my body. So listen to what happened yesterday. Yesterday, we spent all day talking and I was standing up all through. Like, I don't know how we started talking by 6 a.m. in the morning. By we, I mean Olayinka, myself, and Oyaedu. Oyaedu is outside. She's making her nails. Oya is a boss, so the nail lady comes to our house to make her nails. And you know, when she does hers, we do ours too. Because what can the righteous do? So how was people's Valentine now? Most of you didn't watch my Valentine video. If you've not watched the video that I released on Valentine Day that was about reading love letters, do check it out. I'll probably leave the clip here. So in today's video, you're staying in bed with Babe and I. So I was on my feet all through yesterday. Honestly, I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I didn't notice that I was standing for up to 8 hours. I was the narrator of the story. So we started talking from 6 a.m. We started talking about Yinka and I's relationship, how we met. We were just how we met, the first few years of our relationship, and it took us legit 8 hours plus, like 8 hours plus, from 6 to 8 in the night. Yeah. We were talking.
Like what?
As in,
we didn't even know time was going.
We didn't. Apparently, the story of how Yinka and I met is actually not met. How Yinka and I our journey is actually pretty very, very long. We've been together for 5 years plus.
This is 2021, babe. Okay, say 5 years plus, yes.
Yeah, that's almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years sometime this year, right?
Yeah.
So we've been together for so long. So long. We cannot believe that those times have passed. Some of them were terrible. Yep. We won't lie. We've been through terrible times. Terrible times not because like terrible things happened and we walked into them. We created the terrible things. We ourselves, our childhood traumas, ourselves. And sometimes when you go into a relationship and after the honeymoon stage and everything, people just start unbagging your traumas, especially those of you that are still young, who have not probably seen a therapist or dealt with it. When you enter a relationship,
you don't even know what trauma is. Yeah. Sometimes
you don't even know what trauma is. Do you want to sit up? Is this hand pinning? So for those of you that are in relationships, those of you that are in relationships, probably unhealthy relationships or relationships that have been unhealthy, like Yinka and I's relationship. Yesterday when I was telling the story, and at some point I was like, I don't know why I even stayed in this relationship. I don't know why she stayed. And then we looked at each other and we're like, do you know when you like a person so much, you want to go, but you want to carry them and go. Like you want, like the house is burning, the house people are living is burning. So you love yourself, you want to run, but you don't want to leave that person behind there. Yeah. That was literally our story. What would you say is the hardest point or hardest thing you faced in this relationship?
Personally, what's the hardest thing I faced in this relationship? Myself.
Very true. Very true.
Really, myself. Because in the middle of something, you realize that you yourself have an effect. You keep expecting things, you keep like, this is the reaction I expect, this is the thing I expect. Then in the middle of all of these things, you realize there's something
is expected out of you.
Yeah, and honestly, sometimes when you're in the middle of the puddle, you realize that, and you can't even vex with anybody. It's easy to point, you did this to me, you did that. When you point at yourself,
it's easy to point at others. Very true.
You don't know what that feels like. You don't know what that means. So when it's strange, because you know this person did this thing to me, that person did that thing to me. But when you know how to look
at yourself,
it's so.
Looking at yourself is such a submissive process.
And so that's really has been the hardest point for me, really. And then it wasn't a one-time thing. It was at different points in time till it became an habit, that aside from looking at outside, I look at myself.
Yeah, actually, that's very true. For me too, I think that's the same answer for me, because this relationship showed me myself different light.
Is it when you love someone?
Different. See, the thing that happens when you love someone is everything you are comes out to meet that person. Like over time, everything you carry inside of you want to come and introduce themselves to that person. That's the truth. Everything I was came out to meet this person. Everything she was came out to say hi to me. And not all of them were pleasant. Not all of them were my friends or even her friends. Not all of the things that were inside of me were my friends and her friend, even,
That's a good description. Everything that you are comes out to meet the person.
The good, the bad, the ugly, the shameful, the like Inka said, it's easy to blame the other person. It's easy to point fingers and say, you're this, you're that, you're manipulating, you're that thing, you did this to me. But to look at yourself and admit or accept or acknowledge whatever it is that brought you and this person that you're pointing fingers at in the same lane, in the same road. That's what I learned when we were in a very bad place. I looked at this person that I really, really loved, and I won't lie to you, Yinka was cuckoo. Yinka was, when we started, like, I was supposedly calm. But the truth is, I wasn't really calm. I was just wearing my chaos inside out. So the calm side was outside. The chaotic part was just inside, looking through my eyes at things. So when I met this person and then we fell in love and we started doing life together, even though I was projecting like calm, I was just looking at her when she probably run mad about something. It didn't mean I had good intentions, right? That's something I learned. When it was easy to say, oh, this person is abusive, this person is something, and walk away. I didn't think, I don't know how to explain it. I didn't think she was better than me. I was better than her. I didn't think any of us was better than each other. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But in the middle of that unhealthiness and that death, it was impossible to blame it on my partner, because we're both in it together. Somehow, I'm here too. Whether she was the one that slapped me or I'm the one that slapped her, somehow we're both here.
We're both
responsible. And the key thing that I remember was we both liked each other. Like, not love as in, I love you, you're my girlfriend. Like, as a person to another person, she was someone,
and so it made it more difficult and
to leave the person you like behind.
You're like, how is this so hard? It's supposed to be so easy, I like this person likes me. I like
Honestly,
who they are.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so what is the problem?
Yep.
And you don't have tools, you don't have materials, you don't have what to tell you. You're just
nobody teaches
a young
you
person
anything.
And you're in this and you don't know what to do about it.
And then we were now lesbians, or we are now lesbians. We didn't have family, friends, support.
To even call and say, see what happen, or even something happen, you want to go and chill at your friend and talk to your friend or tell your friend, but there's the bias that comes with it. You know? At that time, we had a lot of homophobic friends, and even we ourselves were still trying to
dealing with our internalized homophobia.
There was quite a lot going on.
Yeah, there was. Honestly, we still really like each other. You see, Yinka is someone I would die for. No cap. I would die for this girl because girl. I call her girl all the time. She's a fool. She's going to be 30 this year.
No, babe.
30. So I really like this woman. I really like this human being. Like, I remember when we used to talk and when we just started dating, and when I got to know her, I told her, see, honestly, I love women, but if you had come in a man's body and I was able to experience you and see you still, I would have still loved you. I've still gone with you. Like this human being. I mean, it's been hard because people presenting in men bodies. But like this human being, her insights, not the person you're looking at, her insights, her processes, her thoughts, her instincts, they're beautiful. They're even in her madness. See, our first year of our relationship was, oof, let me tell you. So I met her and she had been dating girls like all her life, right? Yeah, pretty much. And being a queer woman from Nigeria who has been dating women, like with that time, with that age, she was coming from a lot of trauma and pain and mistrust and a lot of things. Honestly, she was coming from a lot of things.
Undealt with.
Yeah. We were friends actually when we started. We were friends, we talked so much. So much. And I've been poly, honestly. I will always say I'm not really monogamous, but the truth is I'm not monogamous, not really. So the day I finally told her, oh, she finally told me she liked me or something, I think after the day we kissed, or first time we like had sex or made out or something. So I was leaving her house, and then she says something like, I don't know, we're talking about how we like each other or something. She was walking me down the stairs. She was like, you know, you don't have to break up with your boyfriend, right? Because I had told her, you know, I like you, I'm going to go back home, I'll have a talk with my boyfriend and I'll break up with him. And she was like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to. People have dated guys alongside. And I laughed. I told her I want to. No, I didn't say I want. I told her I'm going to. I didn't tell her I want. I was like, I'm going to, don't worry. It's not your decision, it's mine. Because you know how people who are used to some kind of thing, like sometimes trauma is written in everything, the way we even want things for ourselves.
And for me, I dated a long time, couple of people, but exclusivity was not something I personally experienced. You're in between boyfriends. You just dump this one. You're thinking of who the next one you're going to move on to is. Then you say, oh, so
you buffer with this girl.
Yeah. So if I had experienced exclusivity, it was that kind of exclusivity in between that. Even while I would be in that relationship, the next person will come along. Or while in that, those kind of dynamics. So dating exclusively someone you love, it was the first time for me actually. Like, forget the other experience. And we didn't even realize it. We thought it was just one of those. Personally, I didn't realize it anyway. I thought it was just one of those things also.
I knew what I was doing. I've always been conscious. I knew with the way we talk, with the way her trauma was set, her mindset was set, the way she didn't even, like I've told you before that one time I asked her, what do you think about, gay marriages or something like that, and she said she doesn't believe in it. Like, Yinka was wearing a lot of internalized homophobia. And the thing about loving a person or showing a person is sometimes it's not about telling them. Yeah. Sometimes it's the life.
Yeah, because telling them can get confusing, can get so theoretical.
Yes. As much as I was poly and all of that, I didn't want to trigger her because this was a familiar situation. As much as it is not the same situation, the girl you love, she has a guy she loves, and there's you she loves. As much as it's not the same thing as probably what she was experiencing before, it was going to create an environment that seemed familiar, and it would have been triggering.
And I didn't even realize that.
She didn't. I don't think she thought she could have exclusivity. So she was already offering people, like girls.
Yes, I really didn't think that, because even the interim times I had exclusivity, it was, like I said, interim. It's always in between the next thing. So even when I have exclusivity, I'm not confident that exclusivity. I feel like this is just the pause for the next person that will come along that you like.
So in Nigeria, because homosexuality is something that is shunned on, is frowned upon, it's considered a sin. When young girls, young boys, young humans are like getting to know themselves and liking people of the same gender, they do it sneaking around, behind backs, behind public eyes, behind everything. Both you that likes the girl, both the girl that likes you, you probably will be hiding each other. Yeah. For some people, they hide by having maybe a boyfriend to have. Yes. Yeah. So you have a girlfriend, she has a boyfriend for public eyes, then you are the girlfriend indoors. Do you understand? That was it. Most times it's both of the girls involved.
It's a terrible thing. Yeah. For everybody involved.
It is. I'm so sorry.
Come on, babe.
It is. Honestly, they won't tell themselves they are dating. Yeah. They won't.
How do you have that conversation?
You're even shy to talk to the person you kiss every day about why you kiss them. You just don't. Hey lady, you just kiss them and not have the conversation. Most times that's what happens. You have this girl you're kissing, making out with, and both of you never talk about it. If you talk about it, you might just ruin it. You might just send her packing. That kind of situationship that most young queer people in Nigeria. That's the kind of situationship they are in, especially when they are young. So most queer people from Nigeria, most growing adults from Nigeria, if you meet them, they are usually, their first exclusive relationship is usually a shock for them. It's usually a holy grail moment for them, and this is because of the homophobia back at home, especially those of them that live for their abroad. I think those that live for their abroad are those who finally get a chance to date a girl exclusively and hold her hand in public. Yes, honestly, I'm grateful for my time outside of this country because I met this one first. I brought her back home to love on our land. This land belongs to us, whether we like it or not. All of us didn't get this land that we did share.
I invited her.
But your hand, like land, so that they invite you to come your father country. I brought you, I forced you. She didn't want to come back to Nigeria. Yinka,
because you encouraged me.
I encouraged her. I actually didn't force her or bring her.
Okay. People ask people that used to whisper in their ears, say, don't trick your head, dear, just the observer.
Yep.
Yeah, so she knows when to encourage me, but also make sure it's my decision.
Yep.
That is very liberating and empowering.
Yep. Being with a partner, sometimes we tend to forget they're a human being of their own, because both of you have partnered to create this union. Then you forget it's one human being, another human being. Then this together is a union, or maybe three people and then a union. It's just human being.
Let me put it all down. Three people and
then there's a union. Depending on what. Sorry.
It's okay.
Depends on whatever you're doing. I'm trying to be in the habit of not normalizing monogamy, or do you understand? So every time I talk about relationships or two people relationship, I want to remind everybody that there are other types of relationships.
Representation is important.
Yep. This is a human being, and you're a human being of your own.
And you can't make the decisions for them. Really.
Yep. So
as much as you're excited to and your intentions are good.
Yep. It takes more than good intentions to live a life.
And that distinction, nobody teaches you that, because you're so in love, you're so excited, you're feeling them, you don't understand, you don't have tools, you don't have language, you just. How do you decide? How do you tell your partner that, oh, I'm traveling to this country, come along with me?
You don't tell them come along with me. You start a year before and tell them I would like to travel to this country by next year. You remember how? Oh my God, I'm just remembering things. Remember how I think when we started, or the first year or something, we had this formula of whatever you want to bring to the table. We had this invisible table, right? So it wasn't I don't know, we both wanted the same thing, or we both want to do the same thing. No, it's like, bring your wants to the table, let your partner say it. You bring your wants to the table, let your partner say it. And everybody was working hard for what was on the table. Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Everybody, you're working hard for what you brought to the table for yourself as much as what your partner brought to the table for themselves.
You don't stay in your inside and decide all these things and plan all these things and conjure all these things. No, it's
bring it to the table. That's what I feel like. That's what relationship is. An invisible table between two people, three people, four people, anybody. And you all bring what you want to it. You have other people helping you, or other people seeing what you want and helping you achieve your goals. Other people beside you as you're strategizing, planning, as you're confused, as you're scared.
And they understand.
And they understand. And they want to be like, this is their table.
Yes, yes, exactly. That's it.
This is their table.
It's not like this person, but this is your table. Yeah, so
honestly, and you know, when I was planning to leave Cyprus, because I was honestly sad in Cyprus, I was just done. I had graduated, I studied masters, but I was sad. I reached the height of my depression in Cyprus. Inka and I had this talk. I told her, see, I'm going to drop out from the masters. I want to go back to Nigeria. We had a farm in Nigeria then. I was like, I'm going to go back to Nigeria. I can manage the farm. I can work there until I find something else. And she was like, yeah, if that will make you happy, okay. All through the process, Yinka was there working towards the trip as if it was her trip, working towards everything. And that was the same thing for her. Everything she brought to the table, I worked towards it as if it was mine. Her PhD, oh my fucking God.
Everything.
So she starts PhD and my dear, when do you want to leave? Because me, I want to leave this country.
Because I was scared of Nigeria, really.
She didn't want to come back to Nigeria.
The country was just like this giant monster somewhere. Like really, because I had experiences, not very pleasant experiences, and then the country itself is structured to just frustrate you. And that old knowledge was what was still with me. What I had attained, my growth was not even relevant at that point. I didn't put it as a factor. All I kept thinking of was the monster that the country was. She was
uninterested. Why me? I just wanted to go home to a land I knew, to a land that I was familiar with, to a land that had, for me, Nigeria held answers. I had so much questions that I couldn't even ask, I couldn't speak out, but I knew the answers were in Nigeria. That was just what was my spirit then. We both wanted different things, but we both wanted the same thing of being together. She'll tell me how she doesn't know how she'll do long distance relationship, and I'll tell her, oh, honestly, me too. Me too. I don't know. I like touching you, I like holding you, I like my hands in your hair.
And there's the joy of sharing the experience, and that was what I was mostly scared of. That you would experience something and I won't be there with you to understand the experience or to feel the experience.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case.
That wasn't the problem actually, because when we started long distance relationship, wow, honestly, when you like a person, when you yourself have a person that you like, you come up with ideas.
Yes, you start thinking.
Yeah, you yourself will be creative in the things you want to share, how you want to share it, anything. In the middle of the night, she sends me a voice note because she woke up to drink water and something funny just happened. So she'll send me the voice note of what just happened. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll hear the voice note of, something's funny just happened, blah, blah, blah. And it would be as if I was in that moment. I would get it because that was our former apartment. I knew the apartment.
Yeah.
And you know, when something happens for me back in Nigeria, I'll send her a video. Hey, look at what just happened. And she'll just be there. She'll watch the video. And it was honestly, we stayed apart for a year, right? Yeah. And we didn't feel it because every day, I don't think we skipped any day without talking. I don't think we stayed a day without talking. Yeah.
Even when we had a fight.
Even when we had a fight.
And the funny thing is, I felt like our fights were better then.
Our fights were way better.
We were calm enough to understand each other, to listen. All you had to do on a phone call is listen. You're not looking at the person's face to say they eye you, they frown small, they shift their mouth.
You're not really meaning into what their face is saying. You're just listening.
Yes. Yes.
But face-to-face fight is very tricky. Your demons are with you. It's not just you that is fighting. You, your insecurities, your demons. So you're looking at the person's face, anything they do, any way they eye, their eyes turn, anything their mouth say, you're really meaning to it. You think your demons are talking to you, they're answering the person. Honestly, I've learned to not fight with demons. When I'm fighting with her and my demons are talking, I just leave. I'm like, when I'm alone, I'll come back to you, don't worry. Sometimes these demons are unfriendly. They just want to self-sabotage me. They just want to sabotage, like, she'll say
one. Demons of years past. So they have backup, they have stories, they have things to tell you. They
tell you, you know your father did this thing, but this is not your father.
Yeah.
This is not the same situation. Your demons are not right. I learned to not trust demons in this relationship. Yeah. There was a time all my insecurities, all my demons were just talking, they were just so loud. And then there's this person who I really like, who will do nice things for me, who just do nice things to make me smile. And then there are these demons who come and tell me things and they'll make me sad. I always focus on how I feel after eating. That is why I started mistrusting my demons, because they finish talking and I'm anxious.
And then they leave you. Like they will stay with you and keep up that good work, that bad work that they are doing, keep it up. Then you can just stick with them and but they leave you and you're left with yourself and you're like, what
did I just do? Why did I send away this person that was here and holding me and laughing with me? Yeah, fighting over the phone was way easier because we got to listen to each other. We were typing a lot, we were sharing things. We got to experience what we already knew about each other. Like,
I learned how to communicate, not just listen but also communicate.
Yep. Yeah. And we also got also got to experience what we already knew about each other. Like, Inka will tell me how she likes doing this thing or she likes doing that thing. But because we lived in the same house and we're doing a lot of things and she didn't have time to go and do this thing that she personally just loved. So when I left, she started boxing classes and she'll send me videos. And I'll just see this person. I didn't see her as a boxer, but she'll send me videos of her boxing. And it was super sexy. It was so nice. It was so nice. And I always used to tell her how I want to dance, how I want to sometimes like take stripping classes. I never did. I never found a class or a place to take one. In case you know any place in Abuja that takes stripping classes, please let me know. Or pole dancing classes. Anyone, pole dancing classes. So I always tell her how I want to do this thing. So when I'll live alone in an apartment or something, sometimes I'll just keep the camera up on and just do a little dance and, you know, send her. These things were just nice to share yourself with this person in a way where they're just in awe. It's like they're meeting a new person, but it's you, or they're meeting a new side of you, or they are seeing a side of you that you told them about, but they've not seen. Yeah. So, and it was nice.
It's not just joining together and becoming one, but a second self. What I've discovered is you're getting the best of everything.
Yeah.
Like when you try to force your partner to do what you want,
they get the best of you.
You're depriving yourself, really. Yeah.
They get the best of one person. Like if we do what you want, we get the best of this side. Yeah. But if we both do what we want, you see how both of us get the best of it all.
Yes, because that's everybody doing what they want is what's made the past 1 year an experience for me, because I could tap into our own experience. See lady. Hey lady. I could tap into our own experience because I checked, so I thought maybe I want to repeat that.
Yeah, I grew up with parents who, you know, my dad might want to move to the States and you say, okay, family, we are moving to Abuja tomorrow. And then my mom is thinking, but I have this here, but I have that here, what do I want? And she's like, okay, my husband said, let's move. And years later, I'll hear my mom say things like, that opportunity I didn't do. And some days she would just be angry at my dad. I should have done this. I knew I should have done this. You said,
Kai.
Years later. And I grew up with that example. And I knew in my heart that I would never, like, that was one of the things that scared me so much about marriage. The fact that someone would drag me along their life.
Now that we're talking about it, that concept is so fucked up.
You marry and you lose your life and you become a part of this man's life. Whatever he wants, you're following him to do. I never wanted that.
It's just the ideology that is a concept that people just follow without even thinking about it. Like, it's...
So when I met this one, when I said, this person has been my first partner all my life. I've dated people, yes, but this is the first person I've partnered with.
Me personally, I did not realize there's a difference between dating and partnering. And finding that distinction was an experience. And in that experience, before you even start having words to say this is dating, this is partnership, we didn't even have word, but as we kept going, we realized, this is
partnership,
It's quite...
We didn't start partnership from day one. We dated for such a long time, then we became partners. And in that, you're done?
No, but I want to shower.
Look at the nails. Who is doing next?
Who is doing next? You want to go next?
Okay, let's round up. When we started partnering, I was sure I didn't want to recreate that environment I knew. Like that thing I got from my parents where, you know, this person, join this person's life and move on. I was very sure. I was very, like, there's nothing I've ever been firm about in this life as much as my life. Like, no. This one, allow me say what I want. I'm very firm about it. And I think I got that from, you know, the things I experienced from my parents and how they both carried pain and anger over time for each other, for opportunities they lost that the other person influenced, and things they did that they weren't really sure, but the other person...
It takes some level of cockiness in this life that we are so unsure about things, for you to, because whatever it is you're doing, you're unsure about it in the reality of things. You've not done it before to know IOP. To now drag another person's existence along with you through this unsure part, it's quite cocky.
Even though I feel like we've talked about it, what would you say is the secret ingredient? The secret to the success of your relationship?
Honestly,
I feel like this is a successful relationship.
There is no secret. Just listen to all the things we've said before. Because I can't say
there's no secret.
Because there was no one time that I added something, I did something. It was a process.
Yeah.
And processes have to play out, and processes are different. So all the things we've talked about, partnering, self,
dealing with talking to your demons, dealing with it.
All of those things are actually the secret ingredients.
Honestly,
that I've noticed. I'm sure there are more secret ingredients that I've not noticed. The
secret ingredients is yourself. Let's say that. The secret ingredients. Why are you laughing? The secret ingredients, honestly, the secret to every relationship is the people in the relationship.
Yes, actually.
Because what worked for both of us will not work for you and your partner. You know why? Because our traumas, our triggers, our responses, these things are different. The way you respond to what your partner will say is different from the way I would respond. Normally, when I started this relationship, I responded with everything with silence and I had most of the conversation inside of myself. My partner can say anything to me, I'm just looking at you. Like, I usually have nothing to say because I'm processing, I'm listening to my voices tell me whether what you said was true or not. And that silence used to just drive her mad. That silence used to just trigger her so much. Like, it triggered something from a past experience that meant that the person didn't care about the person did not give a fuck, really. And as much as I gave so much fuck, that was my response, silence.
Why would you be quiet? Why won't you have something? Because nobody's quiet in their head. There's something you're saying in your head. So, and then when you don't say it, it makes me insecure. It makes me even doubt that means what you're thinking is not safe for me. That's why you're not telling me. You know, and so and then you're spiraling. You want to like, okay, let me to start thinking my own things in my head, but you're not a quiet person. You're the one that
I would just start. Honestly, at first when we started, and I would just keep, when she would shout, I would just keep quiet and stare at her.
Like I wouldn't even realize I'm shouting.
And I'll go back to my friend or something. I'll probably say, this guy I'm talking to used to shout. I'll be done with this. She shouts. And then my friends would probably talk, please end that one, do that. And I would sit in my self-righteousness every time when I'm quiet. Like, look at this one, is shouting again. I don't know whether she was the one that told me or I discovered it one day. Something just brought the knowledge that, you know, like this. And I won't blame myself on that person's habit. Like, habits is habit, like that one day. But when she talked about earlier, she had said something about how we look at other people and forget that we also have a part to play or role to play. Now remember, Yinka, I met this person, she's a loving person, she's a sweet person, she's a kind person, until she gets this block and she's triggered and
properly triggered issues.
And then she's shouting, and the person that she loves, the person that is supposed to love her, this person that is supposed to come for her, this person that is just like supposed to, is just I'm doing nothing, but I'm doing a lot of things, because like silence is a trigger and I'm just there silent.
And I did not understand the art of talking to your demons inside. So I didn't even understand the process that was going on for her to be able to like respect it, understand it. All I was just doing was my own feelings, my own deeds.
And honestly, I was not, let me say this again, I was not responsible for, I knew this, I'm not responsible for your bad habits. I grew up with a shouting father. I'm not the one responsible to teach you to talk calmly. When it finally clicked for me, right? I like this person. When I like you, I see you as myself. You're not me. I don't want to impose things on you. Because I love myself so much. I relate to humans with myself. So I see you as myself. So, and if I'm shouting or something is happening with me, I want any help I can get, honestly. I like help. I'm not even a cocky, proud person. I grew up with a dad who was, the man had as in, I don't know how, sometimes I don't know how to describe it, because people think I hate my father. Everybody in my family, thinks I hate this man. I always talk bad about this man and all of that. But the truth is, I don't. I was telling people yesterday, I really, really, really loved this man. But he had so much, and that hurts me. So when I met this person, and I was already on this journey of day by day self-love. I was dating people, but I was loving myself. That was honestly my mantra. I didn't trust people to love me. I was dating, loving, receiving love too. It's not like I wasn't receiving love, but there's this kind of love that taps into that, I don't know, there's this kind of love that enters somewhere. I didn't want anybody inside there, because I didn't trust anybody, honestly, to be there. So I met this person, and you know how I said that I was wearing my own chaos inside out? I recognized her chaos when I saw it, because she looked like my dad, right? And I look like my dad. Truly, trauma looks alike. trauma looks alike, different ways. Wait, just wait, let me explain it before you start fighting that you look like my dad. She doesn't like it at all. Listen, it's trauma. Their expression of trauma was similar. The way they would get angry. And because I liked this person so much, in my head, I thought I had seen her future, and her future was I was like, this person is going to be like my father. Oh, that's what I would think every time she would just flip or things like that. And that would make me sad. Most times I was sad instead of angry. Remember before, I'll tell you, I'll sit in my high horses and just be looking at this person shout, and I'll just go and tell my friends, this person they shout, I don't even get strength. After a while, I stopped doing that, because I realized if this was me, let me be selfish, I would have wanted any help, every help, any at all.
For me, it was growing up being ignored, being attention starved. Coming from a polygamous family, and you're like the second born of the third wife of the king, you don't count. Nothing you say counts, ever. They don't even ask you or consider you. Only the firstborn matters. Like, you're always ignored. always. Nobody gives you attention. Nobody listens to you. Nobody. And then I'm in love with this person, and this person says they love me. I think you should listen to me. You should talk to me. So when she's quiet, it's like she's not listening. So I keep shouting, until I realized this person is listening to you. This person is not.
And the more she shouted, the more I went into myself. The more, until we had that talk. Why do you shout? You're like, oh.
And I realized me, myself, I'm also projecting something. Irrespective of what my own bullshit or trauma was, I am bringing something to this table. And what I'm bringing to this table is not pleasant.
Yeah.
I didn't think I had to tell you why I was shouting before you started showing me grace. Like you were talking about.
Oh no, it was during the shout. No, it was during the shout that she would shout and say a lot of things. Like she would just be saying anything. And then I think one of those days she said something about how, why are you quiet? She would just shout like, why are you quiet? Why are you not saying anything to me? Then I think one time she even called me wicked. She's like, Amma, you're very wicked. And I look up to this girl and I said, I agreed. In that moment, because of how I was sitting in my so-called high horses, knowing I'm also a child that has been touched by abuse, that knows. But in my head, I'm like, well, am I shouting? If I can comport my, then that's your business. I didn't teach myself all of this to come and deal with your own. And you're like, you're very wicked. And in my head, I'm like, Amara, you're wicked though.
But you were not.
I wasn't
responsible for me.
I wasn't responsible for her, but I also could have even left. Instead of sit down there and keep you going and go. Do you understand? What? I could have just left. Okay, you shout. Oh, I go to my house. We can talk about that. But I'll just sit down there. Okay, fall into myself. And when she told me about the shouting thing, why she shouted, and I told her what happens when she shouts. We both were conscious of it because you like this person, right? You like this person, so you will see it. The minute you start shouting and they do it, you just see it. And because you care about this person, if you used to fight your demons, if you used to do the reverse thing in your head, and God, it was slow, it was hard, but it happened.
Yeah.
We both started talking to our demons, fighting her. When she starts shouting, she would take herself, she'll come back calmer. She'll say, I'm sorry I shouted. And in that moment when my demons are telling me, don't say anything, don't worry, stay with us, we'll protect you, nobody will love you like us, all of this, I'll fight all of this and open my mouth, and I'll just say something. Like most times it was always hard for me to say something because I was in natural disbelief of humans and the kind of love they can give. But understanding your own effect and your own power, at some point I don't know, it just hit me that a person can love me if I let them. A person can love you. Tell this person how shouting affects you. Tell this person how they are walking away affects you. And it was just a little bit of this affects
and you
me.
yourself find out why you're shouting.
Yeah.
Because you don't even probably want to shout. You probably don't want to express, but then you find yourself, then you also have to like, now this person has told you they don't like this thing. It's nice to say, okay, I love you so much, I won't do it again. But the next time something happens, you're triggered, you're just going up and on, and then you're like, oh shit. But when you also have to come to yourself like, okay, why am I doing this? And I have the power to decide what I want to do, how I want to do, and yeah.
I used to tell her then, I'll say, I have demons in my head that don't like you. And I'll say, I think you do too. I think you have demons that don't like me. So this is what I want you to do. Speak for me every time they come. And I'll speak for you every time my own come. And that was it. Yeah. That was it.
And then it is the beautiful thing when you know that this person that is quiet is speaking to their demons on your behalf and you trust them.
Yeah. So that even when I was quiet,
not be shout, even because sometimes she can't not.
I can't talk. I just cannot. Like, physically, I cannot say anything.
And so that knowledge helps me like, okay, now it comes back to me. It comes back to you, and
that knowledge, the knowledge. Even when your demons are talking, that's why I like telling people things, because even when your demons are talking, you can hear that person's voice from last week. Their voice can enter the voice in your head saying, even if I'm quiet, I'm talking to my demons. You know how she was saying earlier that sometimes when the person is quiet, she doesn't trust what's happening in their head. She doesn't think what's happening in their head is safe for her. Yeah. Because what I said earlier, even if you're unsure, there's this little bit of trust that the person you love, the person that loves you, will stand for you, will fight for you, will fight demons. Not themselves, demons in themselves for you. I don't think love will need you to fight yourself. But love would need you to confront your demons, honestly. confront your demons, confront your bad habits, a lot of things.
Understand your power, know what you're also bringing to the table, to the relationship.
Lord, we need you to understand your power and wield your power, because we all have powers. So yeah, like for me was what did it. The liking this person. I'll tell her, I don't want you to turn out like my dad. You're such a beautiful person. Why do you shout? And she say, I shout because of this.
Me, I do not know her dad, but I know all the things she had told me. So I'm like, no.
She was.
Like, she
hated it.
My head was like sick. But I got to understand what she was saying from my own experience. From, like, whatever was going on inside her dad, she did not know. Whatever was going inside me, she does not know. But what she knows is this person comes and shouts.
And this is how it affected me, and this is what happened. This is why I'm like, yes. And just that knowledge of knowing that, oh, your own life, your own experience, your own behaviors can impact a person like this, a child like this. I think that was what I was trying to tell her by using my dad as an example. And she was just like, okay. Then honestly, everybody just started working on themselves. Everybody started working on themselves. She always thought that, oh, because I was quiet, I was calm, or because I was calm in the moment, I was, a better person. I knew, because of the things in my head, I knew that my own chaos was just one upside out, downside out, or inside out. I knew I was as chaotic as this person. The only thing is, I've had practice. You need to see me when I was younger with my family. In fact, you need to see me in 2019 with my family. You don't know it's me. This person, I said, oh, I can keep quiet. I shouted so. What is shout? I shouted so much in my family house that I was gasping for air. So I've had practice to, this is not what I want. I don't want this. I don't want this bodily thing. I've had practice. This person had not had practice. They don't even know why she should stop shouting. And our conversations, our communications, our friendship, sometimes you just need a friend, not even a relationship, a lover. Just sometimes, honestly, it's just a friend who doesn't want to leave you in a sinking ship. A friend who, they tie their life to yours, right? They're like, okay, when I jump, you jump. We both know this ship is sinking. We're not trying to die in this ship, but we're not going to leave each other, leave the other person in this sinking ship. And that was it. That was honestly
we're both willing to sail out of the ship. And like
we're both willing to sail out.
What I said before about when two people do something, when two people come together, join finances, join goals, join ideas, join growth, it's a beautiful thing, because now you have somebody, even though you're doing the work inside yourself, but you have a partner that is also doing their own work inside of them, because she's not trying to jump out of the ship and drag me along with her. No,
we both knew that the dynamics of our communion the dynamics of what we were then, they suit anybody. Yeah, so Yinka, as much as she was shouting, she did not like it at all. She did not like it, she didn't love it, she didn't want to. Eventually, I left my calm and I started shouting too. I didn't like it at all. We both held each other and said, see, I don't like this. She was like, me too, I don't like this. I'm like, okay, since we don't like, let's leave this place. Let's pause. Should we like ourselves? Yes. Let's take ourselves and leave. And we left. God, we left.
Yes. When we were talking yesterday, was when I realized, oh my God, we've left.
Yes. So a different dynamics, a different ship, a different land, a different environment where things are easier. God. Honestly, let's end this video. Thank you. Let's end this video. This is what I would like to end this video. Thank you for sitting in bed with us all morning, and
from me to you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, baby. Thank you for having both of us. We love you. I love you. Don't forget, take care of yourself. See, every time I tell you take care of yourself, don't be lie. Even if you're in a relationship, take care of yourself. Your partner should take care of herself too. But one don't take care of herself is a well taken care of person that will stand up and love you, help you, see you. It's not a sick person. Do you understand? Be friends with yourself, talk to yourself, be in yourself, be in yourself. Anybody that is saying unfriendly things in your head, know you can send them packing. Not every voice in your head is your friend. Take care of yourself. Grow yourself, sharpen your own voice, educate yourself so you just know when things are saying in your head, you can tell them no, that's a lie. Because we hear these things in our head and we just assume they are true. But most times, honestly, sometimes things we hear, voices in our head, demons, they don't have the truth. They don't even know the truth to say the truth. They just say anything. They tell you so much about this person, but the truth is your demons does not know this person, and it's so disrespectful for your demons to just define them. Very, like one day I had to tell one demon that was telling me something about you. I was like, shut up, you don't know this girl. Shut up.
Demon is sort of self-preserving.
Yeah, they want to preserve you, but they want to preserve you alone sometimes. Like you on your own. So if you want to be on your own, that's fine too. Well, some of us don't want to be alone. Some of us just don't want to be alone. We don't want to. We don't want to. The ability does not mean choice. The ability to be alone is not the choice to be alone. We don't want to. Yeah, take care of yourself. Love yourself. Be there for yourself. I'll see you in my next video. I love you. This is your friend Amara. Amara, the lesbian. The lesbian. And this is my beautiful girlfriend. Say bye-bye in the comment section down below. Thank you for being here. Bye, y'all. I love you. Don't forget, subscribe, like. See, maybe it's because I stopped saying subscribe. People stopped subscribing. Subscribe, like, share my videos, watch my ads. Watch my ads. Most of you have stopped watching my ads, and the analytics is showing. Please watch my ads. Please. You don't want me to chop. You don't want her to chop. Please watch my ads. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah.
Thank you.
Mwah. 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 Bye.